So can you introduce yourself and tell us about your role in the Makerspace, please?
Yeah, I'm Dr. Alexis Rutt. I am a science educator, so I work with teachers who are preparing to teach science either at the elementary or secondary level, and use the Makerspace to support my future teachers in learning how to create maker mindsets with their students.
And how does the Makerspace support scientific innovation and research?
Yeah, great question. I think the Makerspace just provides this opportunity for students, especially our students here at UMW, to really think about innovation in their own teaching and how they can provide opportunities for our students to think about and engage with, in my case, science in a way that's very minds-on, hands-on, that really aligns with the direction of technology and engineering that the world is going in and that science is going in. So it gives them a lot of opportunity to learn about innovative strategies, innovative materials they can use to really bring science alive in their classrooms.
Oh, wow. Great. Thank you. So what kind of technology or equipment in the Makerspace are most useful for scientific exploration?
I think everything is. I think that's one of the great things about the Makerspace. It's like this playground of things that you can pull from very low tech to, very high tech. Yeah. So we have glow forges, we have 3D printers on that high tech end that lets our students and therefore their students engage with technology in a way they probably haven't before. But at the other end of the spectrum, you also have popsicle sticks and glue and scissors and opportunities for students to build and design in a way that is very low tech, but is still fostering those engineering habits of mind, that sort of maker mindset that I think is so important in education.
I agree. And then how do you think hands-on making and prototyping benefits students in STEM fields?
I think it's non-negotiable. I think the ability to develop and create with your hands makes a, sort of mind-body connection of applying the things that you're learning in a really meaningful way. Particularly in science, all of the major K-12 science standards right now require this integration of engineering design and prototyping and redesign. So these are habits of mind that we need to be teaching our students, and our teachers obviously can't teach our students those things if they haven't had an experience with them themselves. So having the opportunity to prototype, to build, we're actually in my elementary science methods class this week prototyping and building a structure to help reduce the potency of the sun on a picnic table area as part of a demo lesson that the students are engaging in. Just having that opportunity to really think with your hands is really powerful, especially for our diverse students, especially maybe students who are still developing their English. This is a way for them to show their understanding in a very tangible and meaningful way that isn't reliant always on paper pencil.
And then can you share a time when you helped someone bring a scientific idea to life using the resources here?
Yeah, absolutely. I think this happens, every semester when we come down into the Makerspace and have some sort of design challenge. So these have looked different. Like I said, the one we're doing this semester is sort of modeled around a kindergarten lesson. How do you create a maker mindset and bring engineering design into the kindergarten classroom, because our guiding education standards require it. So thinking about how we can get our students down here and doing that. So our students came down on Tuesday and started pulling all these things off the shelf and thinking about how they could prototype this design and the constraints that they'd have to think about and the trade-offs of some materials over others, and having them really think about not just how this is something to solve the problem that they're tackling, but as an educator, how do I help my students to see this and engage with these ideas?
And then looking ahead, what advice would you give students who are interested in incorporating Makerspace tools into their science studies?
Don't be afraid. I mean, there's so many cool opportunities down there. It doesn't have to be a Glowforge or a 3D printer. There's so many materials down there that you can get your hands on that are quite low tech that still engage you in that opportunity to engage in scientific inquiry in a really hands-on, design-based way. But also don't be afraid of the high-tech things that are there too. We have a great staff in the Makerspace that can help explain how to use those things, that can mentor you in those things. And as schools become more tech-based and have these technologies in their schools, it's really important that our students can walk into those spaces and say, yes, I have used that before, I'm confident with it, and I can see how I could pull that into my own instruction.
And then are there any upcoming projects or initiatives you're excited to see grow within the Makerspace?
I mean, I love what we're already doing in the Makerspace by bringing local schools into it, bringing students into it so they have the opportunity to see how these things can be used and use them to learn whatever content it is that they're learning. So I hope to see the field trips continue to grow so we can bring more students in and demonstrate both both those high-tech and low-tech opportunities to think and engage and design and build. So that's something that I think is really powerful. I'm also really excited about how colleagues are integrating making and engineering into fields that maybe typically we don't think about with engineering, and seeing that sort of cross-curricular integration I think is going to be good for all of our students.
And then just one last question. If you could add any new piece of technology to the Makerspace, what would it be and why?
That's a good one. I don't know that I have an answer for that. I think a lot of the technology that we have there is important. One of the things that's always in the back of my mind is, where will we see this tech in the K-12 world? So is it thinking about realistic tech that